The body of 18-year-old Aiden Jewell was found in a shallow pond Tuesday afternoon. Police tell us that the search ended for Aiden just days after he was last seen at a house party nearby. We sat down with some of Aiden's closest friends and they reflected on the life that they had planned with their best friend.
I just started crying and I get a text from Trey. He said he's dead. And that's just the saddest thing ever when it's your best friend.
Just 18 years old with his whole life ahead of him.
Whenever the summer we talked about even getting a house together. You know?
These four Marlington Juniors are without the fifth member of their group.
He was a very caring person.
Family was number one for him.
Aiden Jewell was the bright light in any room. His friends say that he was a great kid, but more importantly, a better friend.
Always having my back, always talking me through my problems, and the lunch is never going to be the same without him.
The boys say that they weren't at the party Saturday night where Aiden went missing, but they wish that they would have been there for their friend.
I just wish I was there sometimes so I could have got him out of it. I think I could have helped him.
Yeah,
and a lot of people at that party could have helped him.
The Marlboro police chief says everyone at the party was underage and alcohol and drugs may have been consumed by some partygoers.
The true friends are inside. You just got to find them, and we found Aiden, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to meet him.
This group of young men have a message for any of their peers thinking about underage drinking.
This is a wake-up call for most teenagers. Like, this could happen, and it's not a joke. We never thought this was gonna happen, and it's happening to us right now. Like, we see everything on the news about kids passing away and crazy things, and we never thought it would happen to our best friend.
Police and investigators are still trying to piece together what happened Saturday night at that house party, and the investigation is still ongoing. Reporting in Marlboro Township, Jordan Miller, Channel 3 News. We're in Dover today at Next Gen Automotive, and the owner and the head mechanic isn't your typical 20-year-old, and guess what? She isn't your typical mechanic either.
All right, as soon as I get this down, you want to start it up?
Meet Mercedes Serpak. She isn't your typical 20-year-old lady.
I'm a mechanic. I'm not very ladylike.
She isn't just a mechanic.
Go ahead and bump it.
She's the head mechanic and the owner of Next Gen Automotive in Dover. But how'd she get here?
It started with, I'd always been interested in this. I loved working on cars. I loved following my dad around.
After putting in applications and being turned away from job after high school, Sadie had one option left.
We decided, you know what, fine. We're going to go our own way and do this ourselves.
And she did just that with the support of her family and her dad by her side.
I encouraged her, and I just knew whatever she landed on, she was going to be successful.
I've spent so long being told that this isn't something that isn't possible for me, and to finally be able to make it possible and show that it is possible and how hard I've worked for this, and to let people know that I can take care of them.
And she has a message for young girls hoping one day to work in a man's world.
Shake off the hate, keep your head up, and never let anybody tell you you can't do it. They'll always doubt you, but if you keep showing them that you got this, you'll win.
You can have a bad day on a car, but at the end, when it starts up and it's purring like new, that's the satisfaction. That's what she really enjoys.
Reporting in Dover,
Beautiful.
Jordan Miller,
I want to be the next generation.
Channel 3 News.
Somebody did something and somebody knows what happened.
A community and family left wanting answers for months as officials investigated the death of 14-year-old Jonathan Menard. In April, Menard was reported missing and found nearly a week later buried on a farm in Washington Township. Monday, the coroner ruled the teen's death a homicide, stating his death was caused by acute fentanyl intoxication.
I know Jonathan would have never done drugs. He would have never tried it, even if he was pressured. He would have walked.
Sheriff Dale Williams wouldn't go into detail about the case or even name anyone who may have been questioned, saying he didn't want to jeopardize the investigation.
And believe me, this has bothered me very, very badly. And we are going to get to the bottom of it.
He tells us the end of the investigation is near, and he's confident they'll solve some unanswered questions.
We started this investigation, and we're going to finish this investigation.
The county prosecutor released a statement saying they will take appropriate legal action when they are comfortable that the investigation is sufficiently complete to do so.
We want justice. You know, somebody's got to pay for something. Somebody did something. They know they're covering something up.
Closure is what the family is asking for. They want to know who's responsible for the young man's death and why.
And it's going to be tough for a long time without him.
In Carroll County, Jordan Miller, Channel 3 News. From showing cattle at the county fair to competing on a sled hockey team, Jacob Baker has always lived a very active life.
We go to fairs a lot in the summertime. That's kind of like, that's our family vacation.
But Jacob's life changed on a day in 2009.
On November 19th, 2009, I was in a car accident that killed my mom and left me paralyzed from the waist down.
Just 7 years old with his whole life ahead of him, he knew his life would never be the same again.
After my dad told me I couldn't walk and after I woke up, I first found out really about my mom, that she wasn't coming back, and that was kind of a tough pill to swallow at first.
Following the accident, an obstacle lied ahead of Jacob, and it was time for him to learn how to adjust to it.
Once I realized, the severity of the injury, I kind of look forward to, hey, may not be able to do this, but what can I do in place of this, or what can I do in an adapted way of doing that?
So this year, he decided to try out for the Carrollton High School track team, and he has seen some unexpected success.
I kind of didn't know what it'd be like going into it, so I'm pleasantly surprised how it's turned out so far.
Okay, guys, and get this, Jacob before this year, he's actually never raced competitively before this season, but he's qualified for the state track and field tournament in 3 separate events. One of those events, the 100-meter wheelchair dash, he actually qualified with the fastest time in the state of Ohio.
I thought I'd be lucky to even qualify for state coming in. I had no idea what it'd be like. So, to have a shot, even just the opportunity to go is amazing.
Jacob's track coach, Mike Ackerman, says it's not really surprising to see a kid like Jacob succeed the way he has.
For him to be at that level this early is kind of surprising, but at the same time, anything that kid does doesn't really surprise me. So,
a kid who could have let a disability hold him back has turned it into something remarkable.
I have a disability, I can be upset about it, or I can treat it the best I can, but either way, I still have a disability. So if you treat it with positively, your end result will be a lot better.
Reporting in Carroll County, Jordan Miller, Channel 3 News.
We've been here 25 years and nothing like this has ever happened.
It's a night that will be on Pam Gensel's mind for quite some time.
It was really windy and you could hear it howling.
In this video, you see Gensel letting her dog back inside the house. You see that big tree right there? Well, just 10 minutes later, it came crashing into her home.
And I was just about to put pizzas in the oven, and we heard the crash.
Everybody scrambled to find each other inside. Thankfully, everyone was on the opposite side of the house. Gensel gets choked up at the thought of her youngest son even being in his bedroom when the tree came tumbling down.
The tree would not have crushed him, but he would have been, there was just too much other debris in that. I can't even think about it.
And for the time being, Gensel and her family, they're staying in a neighbor's house until their home is repaired.
It would have just been a matter of time.
Reporting in Akron,
before we would have been in bed.
Jordan Miller.
It would have been a different outcome.
Channel 3 News.
We turn our attention to a family from Alliance, Ohio that helps all the time. Over the last 9 years, they've provided nearly 1,000 sick kids a year a gift for the Valentine's Day holiday.
And now people from around the country donate gifts to the Valentine Project. Channel 3's Jordan Miller has the story.
Welcome to the Valentine House,
where care packages are made with love.
Good job.
Hope.
Is she gonna like this when she gets to open that?
And happiness.
Awesome, awesome.
And boxes are shipped to sick children in Ohio.
Kids whose lives are really different, turned upside down by a serious diagnosis, can often dread Valentine's Day.
So in 2011, they found 88 children suffering from pediatric cancer, and they thought those kids could use a little extra love on Valentine's Day.
We were in awe of what it actually meant, not just the kids, but their parents as well.
And the small act of kindness became the Valentine Project. The Margitas went from sending 88 pillowcases full of Valentine's Day gifts to nearly 1,000 kids around the Buckeye State last year.
We had decided to open this to children with chronic illnesses as well. They have a life sentence, okay? This disease will never go away for them.
These are real packages for regular everyday kids.
That's Sarah Taggart, and this is her 5-year-old daughter, Annie. Annie was born with osteogenesis imperfecta. Sarah then contacted the Valentine Project, and she couldn't believe her ears when she heard that they offered a service for chronically ill children too.
She was moved to tears because her child is not terminal and her child doesn't have cancer, but she has a very serious illness and doesn't qualify for many programs that are out there.
Much happiness to know that there's so many people out there that care so much and are willing to make these packages for complete strangers.
Every child in the home will get a one-of-a-kind gift.
It includes the siblings because truthfully, in our opinion, they're really the unsung heroes.
Each year, the Valentine House overflows with donated gifts, and it takes a team of volunteers to stuff the pillowcases and get them on their way.
It just warms my heart how many good, kind, generous, compassionate people are in the world.
Reporting in Alliance,
willing to put together a beautiful package.
Jordan Miller.
For a child they're never going to meet.
Channel 3 News.
Wow, we were all moved. If you'd like to donate, you can head over to our website, WKYC.com, for more information. Jordan Miller has the story.
The holidays can be a tough time for some families, and those tough times may leave some kids without any Christmas gifts to open. But that's where Dante Gibbs steps in.
Being here, we said, what can we do around the holidays to give hope, uplift spirits, and increase that family bonding?
Dante and his team of volunteers spent Saturday morning wrapping gifts for a city dear to their hearts.
We went shopping at Five Below, who is one of our partners. And we're here at Salvation Army, who allowed us to use the space. And we just have volunteers who are from the city, friends of the city, here together as family and friends, wrapping over 500 gifts.
He says Dante's Gift Express was started when he saw a need in the community he's called home his whole life.
Doing something like this is very important because this is where we're from. East Cleveland, a lot of times, it's a lot of negativity.
To Dante, it's more than just handing out gifts.
They've seen us grow up. And so to see us back and just giving that joy is really just an amazing feeling.
At a later date in December, right before Christmas, members of Dante's Gift Express will hit the streets of East Cleveland to hand out gifts.
So typically in the past years, we did about 200 a year. And so this year we upped that to 500.
I'm glad Dante is giving back to the community, definitely helping out. This was excellent. It touched my heart.
The goal is larger than just a few small gifts.
We want to get to a level where, we're able to give a single parent a car that needed, whether it's a single father or mother, give away a house. So these are things that we're looking towards doing in the future as we grow this program.
Reporting in East Cleveland, Jordan Miller, Channel 3 News.
Now time to rest those fingers.
Yeah.
And with the recent closing of the GM plant here in Lordstown, it isn't affecting just the workers. It's affecting the students, the teachers, and even the administration here in the school district.
It's tough for them. We're a small district.
Lordstown Superintendent Terry Armstrong tells us the district has already seen a drop in enrollment.
When the third shift was removed and then the second shift was removed, we started to see a little bit of that already of people relocating.
He says the school district has already lost between 10 to 15 students, and the number may be on the rise.
And we came up with about 50 to 75 names of students that we think will be impacted by this directly.
Students here, like Colin Himes, a senior at Lordstown High School, are finishing out their school year, despite his father's transfer to Tennessee.
So he knew that he had to move away, and it was pretty heartbreaking for us.
Colin just recently signed to play soccer at Hiram and says it was tough without his dad being there on signing day.
For my signing for soccer, homecoming, prom, all these memories coming up, it was definitely pretty upsetting that he couldn't be here for it.
There's not a lot a school can do financially, but we're going to do everything we can. We've started a community pantry that not just GM workers, but anybody in our community can take advantage of. We have food, we have clothing.
Armstrong says the district and the Lordstown community is still holding on to hope, for the now empty GM plant.
We hope Lordstown General Motors decides to, allocate a car here in the future. We see these kids every day. They're the kids that can make the new cars